Thank you all for joining us for our fall 2023 board meeting. I'd like to open with a land acknowledgement. The University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish peoples of this land, the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands within the Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. So Nikki Howard has asked me to provide a programming announcement. Apparently there's going to be something shown on the screen that's maybe going to look a little off in blue. Do not be alarmed. It's all part of the plan. So hopefully, I don't know what it is, but we'll see. It was great to see so many of you at the recognition gala last month. Special thanks to Mary Gresch and her events team. And as usual, they did a great job. We had lots of really great feedback on the gala. Yes. And I would like to extend a warm welcome to our emeritus directors that are joining us today. We're thrilled to have you here, and again, appreciate all your past time and commitment. And as you know, you never really escape. That's what the whole emeritus thing is about, so lean in. Today begins my new role as immediate past chair, and if I thank everyone who I should, they'll cue up the orchestra music and play me off the stage. But thank you to my cabinet, my executive team, all of you on the foundation board who devote your time to the university. And of course, the staff, because we have an amazing staff, the entire advancement team. Special thanks to Lou Hine, who is the board chair whisperer. She sort of, keeps us all on task. I would also like to thank my predecessor, Corinne Wright. Thank you, Corinne. And my successor, Ken Denman, but hold your applause, we'll get to him in a minute. So it just so happened that Corinne and Ken and I were out in the lobby having a coffee, and Ken was saying, "What did I sign up for?" I said, "I'm gonna let you know a little secret, Ken. When I recruited you, I undersold the time commitment a little bit." But Corinne did the same thing to me, so it's a tradition. My journey really started over 20 years ago when I was recruited to join the Board of Trustees of the Alumni Association, and I figured out I couldn't get off unless I agreed to be board chair and president, and then I was done, or so I thought. And Connie recruited me to join this board. And my first meeting was 10 years ago, and it was also the first meeting of a new hire, Mary Gresch. And so I walked up to her afterwards, and she had this new committee with no members, and I volunteered, and I'm still the chair 10 years later. But it's been such an incredible pleasure, Mary, to work with you. And I can't say enough, it was a great decision on the part of the president to make you our SVP. So thank you for everything. Now a little bit about Ken Denman. So other than the bait and switch I may have pulled on him, Ken has been a great leader. He's done fantastic work on the nominating committee. I'm particularly proud of the work we've done in the last 3 or 4 years. Sanjay Chheda was also a big part of that in really recruiting a diverse and amazing group of people to join the board. I think it's never been better. I'd also like to thank the core team that worked on the future visioning project, because we did that for a year and lots of you had input. There was a core group and we met a lot. And a special thanks to someone who's not here this morning, Lynn Grinstein, who, of course, she was there when it all began. And so it was great to have her perspective. And Lynn, if you watch the recorded version, thank you for everything you do. She is the director for life, and she's earned that title. So Ken, it's time to do this thing. Come on up here. So I believe this tradition actually started with Lynn and Bill Gates Sr., or so that's the story I've been told. So here is the gavel. You won't see it again for another 2 years, but please welcome our new board chair. Thank you. But wait, there's more. So here's a gift, Ken.
Thank you, sir.
I'll admit I feel a little bit like Dad at Christmas. I wonder what we got him.
And likewise, continuing the tradition, also wondering what we got him. Great pleasure.
Thank you. I think we're supposed to open these.
Okay.
The suspense is killing them. Oh ho ho!
It is like Christmas.
They wrap like my wife too. Can't quite break in here.
All right.
But it's a fleece blanket, husky fleece blanket. Thanks, Ken. That was very thoughtful gift.
Appreciate it. And likewise, you even got the size right. Looks pretty close.
There you go.
Thank you, buddy.
Housekeeping here.
Well, thank you, my friend. And you know, I've had the pleasure of working with Patrick for more than because we've been on the board here together. You were way ahead of me. One of the things I observe about great leaders is they have the ability to lead from the front of the room and the back of the room. That they're not always the loudest. They're not the most vocal. They're doing a lot of things, connecting people, bringing people in, creating fellowship when the spotlight's not on them. And to me, that's one of the really critical aspects, one of the characteristics I see in really good leaders. And Patrick represents that. I would say he's a guy that, still waters run deep, whip smart, very, very capable in all of the business-like ways, and that's why he's been very successful, but also very passionate, encouraging, and just, a thoughtful person asking, like, what's around the corner? What should we be thinking about next? And so that's what I admire about my tenure working more directly with Patrick. And so thanks, buddy. So let's dive in. In today's meeting, we'll conduct board business. We'll discuss UW business, hear about STEM innovation and entrepreneurship at UW Tacoma, learn about our new era of unparalleled cosmic discovery as the Data Intensive Research in Astrophysics and Cosmology Institute, Department of Astronomy, also known as DiRAC. I'm really looking forward to that. This is really cool stuff. I'm a kind of a sci-fi nerd at heart, always have been, and this stuff just really gets me excited. We're going to discover how a new generation of telescopes and astronomical surveys are yielding a 100-fold increase in the amount of available astronomical data. And hear a special edition also of Insider's Corner, where we'll get to know our new UW Provost, Tricia. President Kause extends her thoughts and best wishes to you all. She is absent for a very good reason. She is currently being inducted to the National Academy of Medicine for exemplary and visionary leadership and research in public higher education, innovations in health research, education, and service systems that enhance pathways for women and underrepresented groups. Initiatives to address interconnections between health equity, population health, and climate change, and pioneering behavioral and health intervention research on Latinos. So, yeah, that's a pretty good reason to miss. And now some fun news and facts as we embark on the new school year. I was just talking to Frank in the hall, Frank Hodge, about the new school year, and I asked him, how's it going? And he says, well, we're back at it full on. And I said, well, yeah, what do you think? He goes, well, we're going to see. He was a little bit, and I said, what's going on? He goes, well, we got to see if we really get kids back in the classroom. And so just like in the work environment, I think we are struggling a little bit still from the COVID days. And I think that, getting people to come into work, but getting people to go into school. And it's interesting. Frank says they're on campus. They're all over campus for the social stuff, getting them to go into class. On the Seattle So I'm going to mention the convocation. On the Seattle campus, UW's incoming class, one of the university's largest and most diverse, were welcomed at a new student convocation last month at the Alaska Airlines Arena. Preliminary figures showed the incoming class in Seattle is about 7,000 students, more than 60% of whom are from Washington State. UW Bothell has welcomed its largest first-year class yet, more than 1,100 students and 530 transfers. And also, we welcomed a larger undergraduate and graduate student body than last year. The UW Tacoma estimates that about 630 first years and 650 new transfer students will enroll this year. So the students are back on campus. About 8,500 students moved into the Seattle campus in September. More than 4,600 people registered for our upcoming UW Family Weekend, and we're seeing great engagement from new returning families. And more than 6,700 people registered for the UW Family Orientation for first year and transfer families. Our students, families, and communities are part of the UW community and family orientation and family weekend. This allows opportunities for the students and their families as they embark on the college journey. And it's kind of cool to walk around campus. You can kind of see you kind of pick out the kids that are new because they're just so bubbly. In terms of the rankings, the UW is number 18 in the world, number 3 among US public universities, according to the 2023 academic ranking of world universities released in August. This is relevant to our mission to be the greatest public university in the world as measured by impact. It evaluates the research impact of our faculty and our work to advance knowledge and innovation worldwide. And speaking of UW in the news, many of you know that the UW will be joining the Big Ten Conference in the 2024-2025 academic year. I've shed all my tears. I've reluctantly put the Pac-12 behind me. I'm looking forward. Anamari and our leadership thoroughly considered this decision. It was the best, in the end, it was the best option for our students. Football funds all of our athletic programs. It brings with it a commitment to the tradition of the Apple Cup, which is very important because my wife and one of my brothers are Cougs, and I thoroughly like beating them. Joining the Big Ten also brings benefits and academic coalition that offers our students support resources such as research opportunities at other Big Ten universities, graduate school discovery and application support, the Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium, for example, and more. And yes, our search for a new athletic director is also underway, as you know. Anamari did a really, really good job with our last selection, so I have a lot of confidence we're going to end up with another great AD. And we're off to a great start to the football season. And we got a great team, and we likely have a Heisman Trophy winner, so I'm pretty pumped. And finally, let's go beat the Ducks, okay? Now I'd like to welcome our new deans and campus leaders. First and foremost, our new provost, Tricia, and I certainly hope that I am pronouncing your last name correctly. Can you help me out? Serio. Thank you. Welcome. It's great to have you here. You have a huge job. Tricia recently joined the UW in July from the University of Massachusetts Amherst, where she was provost and senior vice chancellor for academic affairs. We look forward to getting to know her shortly when she joins us for a special edition of Insider's Corner. So, back to you soon. Moving on to the new deans. Jayath Pan Yam, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, if you are here, if you could just maybe stand up really quickly and so that people can, Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome again, Michael Spencer, Ballmer Endowed Dean in the School of Social Work. Allison Weibo, Interim Robert G. and Jean A. Reed Executive Dean in the School of Nursing. As you all know, that #1 nursing school in the country. Pretty cool. Welcome Chris Lewis, the John S. Banke Director of the Henry Art Gallery. And now on to board business. Congratulations to Mari Hirata on being honored as one of the Puget Sound Business Journal's Women of Influence for 2023. And Vivian Phillips, the Champions of Unity Award honoree, the Northwest African American Museum. Is Vivian here? Vivian will be celebrated at the NAM event this evening. I know many of you are doing great things. Keep us in the loop so that we can share these activities and these honors and these events with your fellow directors. So thanks very much. We have a new Foundation Board website that just went live today. It's an all-new look, consistent with the rest of the university, an improved user experience across the entire site. It presents a clear view of the board to the public with reduced complexity, and it makes information more accessible. Every great business needs a great website. We're in a digital age, and we have to step up our game, and I really believe we've done that. It features new web servers with the latest hardware and software, and the best part is that there isn't a password. We might actually get to use it. The only password that the active board members need is board effect. Contact Luhine with any questions. Go to uwfoundationboard.org and explore. And now, I'm pleased to introduce you to our incoming class of new directors. Our new cohort met last month at the new director orientation, and I can't wait for you all to get to know them. One of the things that I shared with them when we had our orientation session is that this group, this August group, is a great opportunity for fellowship across sort of areas, sectors, experiences that you may not walk across in your daily life. So I've had the benefit over the years of meeting so many interesting people and having a chance to explore so many other aspects, both of the university and of the Seattle and the region, that I wouldn't have gotten to know if I weren't part of this body. So the opportunity to fellowship with people that are passionate about the university, this is a great crossroads right here. So I would ask that those of you that are not new, that if you see somebody with a new director label, please do say hello. So please stand and we're going to ask the new members to stand and state their name and position on the board and why they chose this is a surprise assignment. Tell us why you chose the UW Foundation Board. Someone will assist with passing the mic around. So, okay, let's dive in. First, let's welcome our new at-large directors. Let's hold our applause until the end, if you could. First up is Libby McPhee, who has transferred to the at-large director from her former role as a regent representative. So we're so happy that Libby joined the board formally and will still be with us. And we look forward to her new engagement with the board and with the rest of us in her new role. Now, she's not feeling well, so she's not here today, and she sends her regrets, but we'll see her at the next meeting. Next up, Brett Frank Looney.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brett Frank Looney. I'm thrilled to be here in this room with all of you. Quick assignment, right? Why did I join this? I guess As I told some folks at the new director board meeting last month, my first involvement with advancement was in 2015 as a student speaker at the recognition gala. And then I got to have the opportunity to go to it again last month with most of you. And so it's kind of full circle for me. And I've been involved with advancement ever since I was an undergrad. I got to know Alethea Mead pretty well when she was up there, now down at the athletic department. And just to be in this room with all of you and just see the, Ken mentioned the word impact, the impact that UW has across all facets of our great city. So I'm just thrilled to be part of it as well. Thank you.
Next up, Chuck Blumenfield, undergraduate academic affairs.
Hi, I'm Chuck Blumenfield. This is my actually second tour of duty on the foundation board. I was head of the Alumni Association about 15 years ago and served in that capacity. Whole family of Huskies. My granddaughter, in fact, is the fourth generation. She's now a sophomore here at the university. The reason I don't think there's anything more mission critical to a state university than undergraduate academics. And so that's what attracted me to be that representative. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm now pleased to introduce our newest ex officio directors, Tricia Serio, University of Washington Provost.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here with you today. I think higher education is really under a branding crisis, I'll call it. And I think boards such as this have a tremendously important role to make sure that we stay focused on the core of our mission and to be an advocate for the transformational work that happens on our campuses. I'm just thrilled to be here at UW and to work with all of you.
Maggie Walker has transitioned from her role as representative director at the College of Environment to the Board of Regents representative. Maggie, thank you for your continuing extraordinary leadership over the years. We are so pleased you are remaining on our board in your new regental capacity. All right, we'll move next to Joe Davis, president of the UW Alumni Association.
Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. See so many familiar faces that I've seen. I am the president of the Alumni Association and passing behind a great gamut of leaders that I've seen. My yes was slightly different in that when I graduated from University of Washington, Tacoma, yes, I wanted to continue to be involved in the Alumni Association, so I joined as a representative and continued to serve, and now it's been 7 years and I'm the president. So that's why I'm here and I appreciate all you. All of us know the Clyde Walker, and one thing I've learned from Clyde is when you have the microphone, take advantage of the opportunity. And so I would like to ask our VP of Development to stand up today. Today is her birthday. Today is her birthday, so if you see her, and I started to embarrass her by singing happy birthday and having everyone join, but I'll spare you that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anand Day, Dean of the Information School and Chair of the Board of Deans and Chancellors, Dean Representative.
Good morning, everyone. It's really nice to be with you. My name is Anand Day, and I am the Dean of the Information School. I've been attending these board meetings for about 6 years, so it's really an honor to represent my fellow deans and chancellors on the board. The other reason I joined is because Anamari Kause and Mary Gresch asked me to do it, and I still, after 6 years, I haven't figured out how to say no to them.
Yeah. Thank you. Also, Sarah Goring, the new faculty representative, is unable to attend today, but want to acknowledge her as well. Yes. So, someone I know well, Claudine Adamo.
Hello, my name is Claudine Adamo. I work for Costco Wholesale, and Ken approached me with this opportunity to really take business and the education in the community. And I have a great desire to be more impactful in our undergraduate work. I shared with them I have a son with special needs. We're going through kind of this process of education and just to make a broader impact in the community.
Okay. Lou, you're going to help me by finding the other?
Good morning, all, and very much a pleasure to be here. I'm Jeff Barker. I was asked to represent the Henry Gallery, and was delighted to do so for three reasons. First and foremost, very interested in, well, interest is a fun way to put it, but we've got across the country, and certainly in this state, a transition from public to private funding for these great universities. And so I was really interested to see sort of how that works, to be a part of making it work better. Secondly, the Henry Gallery, and I hope you all go there, the great opening last week. It's kind of I think of it as one of the best kept secrets in the community. It's better known nationally than it is locally, and I'm kind of interested in changing that. And then finally, I've spent much of my life in the Seattle area. I did not go to the University of Washington, but it's always been a presence, and I was delighted to have the opportunity to engage more fully and learn about the university and become really part of that community, even though I didn't go here. So thank you all very much.
Yeah. And thank you, Jeff. And also, last but certainly not least, Lori Black. I saw Lori earlier. Oh, there she is.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, I joined basically because my friend Jody Cunningham asked me to. And so, good reason. I always go with what she recommends. Also, I'm married to a Husky football player, so we're all about purple and gold in our house, although we do have a little bit of red and yellow, I'll just tell you. But anyway, I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to meet all of you. Thank you.
Excellent. And we also have two student representatives for the first time serving in an ex officio capacity. Zubin Gupta.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zubin. I'm a current junior here at UW. I'm studying finance. Don't worry, Dr. Hodge, I'm going to class. But I was brought here to see and presented this opportunity to me, and I wanted the opportunity to serve because I saw it as an opportunity to help my fellow peers and represent them and make an impact on the university during my time here.
Great. And also Valeria Hernandez Miranda.
Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. I am Valeria Hernandez Miranda, a third year at the Foster School of Business as well. So we're definitely representing here. I'm majoring in marketing, human resources management, and international business with a minor in labor studies as well, just to balance out that business education. But I was referred to this role by my mentor and the predecessor to this position, Andy Manzano. Those of you who've had the pleasure to know him know that his presence is something that truly fills the room and makes everybody really, really happy to be around him. And so that is something that I really hope to kind of embody within this role. I make it a goal of myself to be a resource to other students, to be a mentor, and to really lift as I climb. So this is just another opportunity for me to be able to do that and be a resource and assist others within the university. I think the student experience is very important. And so any part that I can take in changing the university's impact and other people's experience within the university will be a really great one for me.
All right. Foster School is well represented. Moving on, I'd like to also introduce to you my new Foundation Board Officers Cabinet. We have Patrick Crumb as the immediate past chair. He can't get away. We know where he Lisa Simonyi as vice chair. Sanjay Chheda as treasurer. Molly Nordstrom as secretary, and Mary Gresch as board president. In addition, I'm pleased to highlight special appointments to this board season. Dana Hurley is the Foundation board representative to the UWAA and the Board of Trustees. And is Dana here? Dana Moore, just. Oh, there she is. We just introduced you, Dana. It's all right. Dan Hugh Weller, Foundation Board Liaison to Regent Governmental Affairs Advisory Committee and Regent DEI Advisory Committee. There he is. Corinne Wright, Senior Advisor to the Foundation Board. So that's the way we just reel you back in. If you start to get away and you go, no, we need. I want to welcome our committee chairs, both new and continuing for this board season. Patrick Crumb, Communications Advisory Committee. Dave Franke, Membership Committee. Richard Larkins, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. Sean O'Leary, Recognition Committee. Molly Nordstrom and Brooke Simpson, co-chairs of the Gates Volunteer Service Subcommittee, now nestled under the umbrella of the Recognition Committee. Laura Lipsky, Development Committee. Scott Wallace, Estate and Gift Planning Council. And as a Foundation Board Chair, I also chair the Executive Committee. So we look forward to the robust body of work ahead of us with a lot of enthusiasm. And, obviously we have a lot of very experienced and very dedicated and capable people on the team. And I will lean on them heavily, very heavily. And lastly, a very special thank you to the following former committee chairs for their extraordinary leadership over the last several years. Sanjay Chheda did an amazing job at the nominating committee, and I have to admit, that I was the chair of that committee, but I was standing on really tall shoulders of somebody who was doing most of the, pick and shovel work. He was really, really getting it done. So thank you so much, Sanjay. Dana Hurley, Recognition Committee, and then Clyde Walker, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. As a reminder, a copy of the year-end reports is included in your e-notebooks so you can witness the great work produced this past year. And now I'd like to call on Molly Nordstrom, who will deliver the consent agenda.
Good morning, everyone. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we move forward. Our voting procedures occur online with our platform, Board Effect. As a reminder, all at-large directors for life, representative, and ex officio directors have full voting rights. So if you see a notification from Board Effect asking you to vote, please do. The election slate was sent to the board on Tuesday, September 12th. The consent agenda, which includes the April 2023 meeting minutes, was sent to the board Friday, September 29th. Thank you to everyone that submitted their votes. We received a quorum from the board, so the election slate and consent agenda have both been approved. Thanks so much.
And now I'd like to call on Mary Gresch for a university advancement update.
It's like Christmas morning. There's wrapping paper all over the floor here. Okay, good morning, everyone. So wonderful to see you all. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Ken. I'm pleased to be here to provide an update on our advancement priorities and projects for you all. I want to first warmly welcome our new directors. It's been such a pleasure to see you here and to get to know you over these past few months. I also want to welcome our emeritus directors who are with us this morning. We always invite our emeritus directors to join our fall activities, so we're so pleased you're returning and here with us today. And thank you to our new committee chairs who are taking on committee assignments. I've been recruiting for you all morning. I know I have some good folks in mind for some other committees based on conversations, so know we have some really robust work to do as committees this year. My theme today is optimism and opportunity. It's fall. You've seen the campus this morning. It's so beautiful. The students are back. We love the students. They're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Reality is setting in. They're not going to class. Did I hear that? We got to fix that. But it is a wonderful time to be on campus. So thrilled that you're all here to enjoy the fall with us. We have great things planned for the year. Our brand renewal is underway. Our next board meeting in January, we'll have some time with that so you can get a sense of how the boundless impact that we've had for the last 10 years and the work about and the brand imprint of Boundless with the university, how it is sticky. Our students feel it. Prospective students are attracted to us through it, and you'll see a renewal of that. I think you'll be very inspired by, and it will attach to our campaign planning again. For those of you who have been on journeys with us in this way, have a lot of good work to do there. Our alumni and stakeholder team is re-engaging our community in multiple opportunities. You'll be pleased to hear that before the Cal game, the September 23rd game, when we all were in awe. We saw how great our football team was going to be. I think it was a great day all around on that day. But you may not have known that we were hosting 600 Husky families. We have a program now where if you are a family that has a prospective student in your household, whether you're a graduate or not, you can bring that to the Alumni Association puts on a preview event. 600 attendees this year, not a tailgate, but a learning session where they walk around campus, learn about what it means to be a Husky. Really, really great attendance there. And then our Alumni Association will be in Tacoma on November 2nd with a South Sound Community Alumni Reception. Good, that's a good theme for us today with UW Tacoma here. So know we are constantly out in support of community. I'll note a special event on Sunday. We have our annual Dog Dash in advance of homecoming weekend. If you've never been, if you have a dog or not, it is truly an incredible way to spend a morning, a 3-mile walk around this spectacular campus, or run if you're a runner. I walk. It's a fun way to talk to people and get to know them as you're strolling along. But I'll note that we have 3,000 registrants and 500 dogs. So there you go. It's a spectacle. I encourage you to come if you have the time. It's an exciting time on campus. Tricia Serio is here. You're going to hear from her in just a moment. As you heard, we're in the hunt for a new athletic director. This is a highly sought position in this country, so we're really excited about the prospects for that search, and a permanent dean and CAO for UW Medicine. So significant time of transition and change on our campus. But I want you all to know we are timely and timeless as a university. We always have big work to do, and I know you're going to see some of that today. But we are in the process of ensuring that as we walk toward our next campaign, we are putting the big ideas and greatest impact of the university at the forefront and shaping ways we can ensure we have the kind of investment and community engagement that will continue to make this powerful, impactful university work forward. Studies show as we have students returning to campus, convocation was mentioned earlier, and Denzel's here. Where's Denzel? Hi, Denzel. Everyone should hug Denzel this morning. I don't know if you're a hugger. I'm a hugger, but Denzel, when you're the vice president of student life, we have been together for 10 years now in our positions. I know what he does, and he's got a big job, and all those students that are back are his. So, yes. So we were at convocation together later in September, a couple weeks ago. And there was this wonderful theme for students around, and Ed and Denzel and others and some of our students articulated this much more beautifully than I will, but they talked about, don't come to college striving to seek perfection. Come striving to seek purpose. And I thought that was so beautifully stated about how this is a time in your life when you can really think about your purpose, who you want to be, how you're going to take that forward. And here at the University of Washington, what you always hear in that conversation is how will you do so for the public good, whatever your career may be. It is all about not just doing well, but doing good. And so it was just watching these students articulate this, hearing the room that when you go to convocation, and some of you, of course, have brought your own kids and at other universities, but what was so interesting to me this year was you could hear a pin drop, and you could hear the parents exhaling, actually, as it was happening, when this conversation was going on from the stage and with the students who were contributing. So truly, truly lovely. I want to note that we're hearing this encouragement from you. And again, just in these conversations, even this morning, but throughout our work with all of you, this incredible advancement team that's here with you, we hear your encouragement and we hear your deep belief in what you know the university can do and what it means to this community and what it means to this world. So please keep in these conversations with us deeply. You give us I'm going to get all schmaltzy here, so stay on script, Mary. The wings that come behind us, that as we do this work, you give us that energy. And as our faculty, the faculty that you support and our students, I just want you to know how deeply, deeply appreciated your engagement is. It's just incredible. I think I'll move now to my official duties in the interest of, so I think I have a slide. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Back to my duties on this stage. So I'm reporting to you today that in fiscal year 23, more than 160,000 donors contributed $625 million to the University of Washington. I want to note that this was an extraordinary year at a time when our society was recovering last year particularly, continues to. Extraordinary in the depth of the giving that we saw, particularly grants and gifts. Of course, private grants also are included in our totals. Third highest year ever for giving, which was amazing to me. That's personal giving to the university, just extraordinary. Our endowment value rose to $4.9 billion, bolstered by more than $125 million in new gifts to endowment. That is very significant for our university. The endowment, as you know, is fundamental to the university's capacity to do major, to recruit excellence and do the kind of major work that it does. This year, the Consolidated Endowment Fund distributed $161 million across our campuses and our medical enterprise, translating to an impact of financial support to almost 5,000 students, including 1,500 graduate and professional students, and more than 700 endowed faculty funds that helped us recruit, support, and retain the stellar faculty that you all know so well and does amazing work for our students and for this world. So thank you. And that is just endowed funds. Of course, I'm not talking about immediate use gifts, but that is highly significant to the university. So thank you. I also want to say we are continuing to transition to a new data system within advancement and in the university as we go through financial transformation. So this is a thank you for your patience with us and our usual reporting and other things. Your endowment reports are coming soon, we promise, your personal reports. It's just been a time at the university. The university had a very antiquated financial system. You may have heard about this, 30 to 40 years old of multiple systems that we had converged into one modern system. And as you can imagine, as a reminder, we're the 5th largest employer in the state. We are a huge system. It includes the conversion with the medical enterprise system. So it's been a thing, but we are making great progress, but we appreciate your patience on some of our usual reporting. So I want to highlight just a few gifts so you get a sense of our fundraising, some of the, stories of love, I guess is what I'll call them. They're beautiful. Love and impact. So many of you know the Boeing company recently celebrated, was recently celebrated at the gala for being presidential laureates, a $100 million investment in the university over the life of the company. Really, really extraordinary. Most recently, they entered a broad research and education collaboration with the university to support the continued development of future engineers skilled in augmented intelligence, machine learning, applied optimization, and data-driven engineering. This includes a $3.5 million gift to establish 2 endowed professorships in the College of Engineering focused on AI, The Boeing Professorship in AI and Data-Driven Engineering will help fuel innovation in both academia and industry. We have an incredible partnership with Boeing, and we're deeply, deeply grateful. Also at the Evans School, alumnus Bob Goldstein dedicated his life to public service. Many of you may know him, or some of you may know him, most notably as the Chief Financial Officer at the Seattle Public Library. He recently committed a bequest of approximately $1 million to establish an endowed fellowship at the Evans School. I know Lauren's here. She's smiling there in the back. I can see her. Really, really meaningful for a school the size of Evans, particularly. I think, we're small and large in many ways. Super meaningful gift. And he wants to make a current gift. He's working on this now. So he's establishing a 5-year term fellowship to support graduate students pursuing careers in public finance and administration. Again, really significant example of our work for the public good. Bravo. And here's another just really touching gift. The Shi family recently committed $1 million to support UW nurses and students in remembrance of Lin Yim Lin Shi, an obstetrics nurse whose career spanned 32 years at the UW Medical Center. The Shi family, and it's a family endeavor, supported 2 endowed funds, the Lin Shi Endowed Professional Development Fund for nurses at the UW Medical Center and the Lin Shi Endowed Emergency Fund to support nursing students. A portion of this very collaborative family gift will also support the renovation and expansion of UW Medical Center's maternal and infant care clinic on the Montlake campus. Very special gift. So I'd like to close by having a little fun. So our team is working very closely with MGM Studios on the release of a film that I think you're all very interested in, The Boys in the Boat, based on the beloved book. If anyone in the room hasn't read it, I'll send you a personal copy. Let me know, of this essentially love letter to our region and to the power of our great public university, the book, The Boys in the Boat. And media reports say that the movie will be released on December 25th. We're waiting confirmation of that. But we know the date will be confirmed when the trailer is released, which we expect to be very soon. This film will offer significant increased visibility for your university. I think you will be proud, and you will see it speaking deeply to the values of what it means to be a great public university in support of young people, many of modest means, who can do extraordinary things when the power of community is behind them. And some of you, I know, heard Brad and Kathy Smith talk passionately about this at our gala in such a way that was just, I think, moved all of us to, I think they asked people to give $5, which was hilarious and wonderful. But I think we all know the power of when we can come together behind our students, evidenced by the examples I just shared, and for our faculty and the research they do for the world, what that can mean. So as a university, we are very excited about this, and we are planning a mini campaign, which we are calling Pull Together, to raise funds for rowing excellence, to complete the Shell House. We are inches away on that campaign, which we've talked about here, and to support young people across our state, not just UW students, although the Husky Promise is part of it, but students across our state, like the boys who were in the boat, who are very modest and limited means and deserve the kind of opportunities to come to college and try to strive to do what they can do with the support of their community behind them. President Kelsey is initiating this campaign. She's very excited about it. We plan to launch it in early November when we know the trailer is fully in market and we can talk about what it means to be a student at the University of Washington. So I thought it might be fun to show you a little something about it. So we'd like to show you a featurette that MGM just released about the movie, and know that I think you'll agree that, and I think Daniel James Brown inspired us in the last campaign when he showed us what we can all do when we pull together.
And action!
It's a boat full of underdogs representing an underdog nation.
In 3, 2, 1, roll!
Rowing, particularly in the 1920s, was one of the most attended sports in the United States. The Boys in the Boat is about strong, tough kids, but they were poor and hungry. They're rowing because it was the only way they could stay in college.
Well, what's that about making some money?
Yeah, the rowing team. You're on it, you get a part-time job included, cheap place to live. All you gotta do is make the team.
The stakes were much higher for them.
8-man crew is the most difficult team sport in the world. Most of you will not be chosen.
And it gave them an edge.
The Washington boat has taken the lead. Washington has done it!
These guys at the University of Washington taking on the seniors.
I got 9 seconds under the course record.
And then taking on the fraternity kids. And then taking on the Nazis. Every film we've ever seen that has an underdog in it, you're always rooting for. That you can pull yourself up from nothing and succeed.
Give it everything!
There's lots of times when the human spirit prevails over circumstances that it doesn't seem that they ought to be able to prevail over. George understood what the heart of the story was. It reminds us of what we're capable of when we pull together.
The actual story of what they went through was really spectacular.
For all the people who didn't believe in you, as one, as one!
Oh, I guess it's confirmed. It is December 25th. Okay, good to know. Thank you all. As one, so grateful. Thank you.
So very cool. Talk about a marketing event, of all marketing events for a university. I mean, this is so exciting. Thanks, Mary. I just wanted to remind us all that we did make a major acquisition earlier this year. Maybe acquisitions, maybe it's a major recruitment. One of the most important jobs at any university is the provost position. And we were able to attract an amazing talent to come in and take this role on. And so now's an opportunity to get to know her a bit better. So Provost Serio and Sanjay, would you guys come up and take it away?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm delighted to be moderating this morning's special edition of Insider's Corner and to welcome you to the University of Washington.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful 2 months so far.
Tell us all about what drew you to the University of Washington and what you think is unique about our institution and what we can uniquely offer the world.
Thanks, Sanjay. I'm a biochemist by training, and so I've long known about the excellence of the University of Washington. And when this opportunity came up, I wasn't actually looking to change jobs, but when the search firm reached out to me, I just couldn't not engage because of the tremendous reputation of the university. I think the University of Washington is really unique. It's an outstanding, stellar university, but the way in which it pursues that excellence, I think is really unique because it's all about a commitment to the success of the people who make up this institution, and that's faculty, staff, and students. So that's really what drew me to this opportunity. I think that's really the promise of a public research-intensive university, that people can come together and change the world for the better in a way that is unique to this specific community. The folks who are here on our campuses that work together, this is the only place and time in which that collection of people are together, and their impact on the world is unique. And so that's really what drew me to the University of Washington.
So in addition to getting our students to attend their classes, could you describe the role of a provost?
Yes. I work very closely with President Kelsey, and really my day-to-day job is about stewarding academic excellence. So that means, in addition to getting students to go to class, that faculty hiring, retention, promotion, and tenure, student admission, financial aid, advising, and success, the research mission of the university, and also our global affairs. All of those roles fall together under my umbrella.
Okay. As you meet with people across the university, what are you hearing and what do you see as opportunities in the near and long term for the university?
Yeah, I think the overwhelming feeling that I get when I'm interacting with people on all three of our campuses, and I had a wonderful day. I want to thank Chancellor at UW Tacoma for a wonderful day yesterday there, is excitement and hope for the future. I think, we went through a tremendously difficult time through the pandemic, and everyone is coming out of that into a world that has changed fundamentally from where we started in a very short period of time. And there's tremendous excitement across all of our campuses to really embrace that new world and make an impact in it. I had a retreat a couple of weeks ago with the Board of Deans and Chancellors and the Vice Provost. We really spent some time trying to articulate what it is that makes the University of Washington so special. And the place where we converged was that the intersection of the ethos of the Pacific Northwest with the values of this institution that really emboldens us to embrace emergent challenges and to pursue innovative solutions. I think this institution is not confined by what it's done in the past, but rather it uses that as a foundation for launching into new and bold directions. And I see that positions us in a really unique place in this very changed world to be a leader in how higher education and research and impact really looks in this next phase of our society.
How would you describe your leadership style and your strategy for partnering with the communities the university serves? And what are you bringing from your prior experiences in this area and other institutions?
I think that I've been in higher ed administration for a while now, and I think the thing that I've learned the most is it's really about engaging. We are better together. Each of us has our own perspective, our background, our preparation that we bring to this work together. And it is the collective contributions that we all make that makes this university great. And so it's really about bringing voices into the conversation and finding the spaces where we can move forward together. I think my leadership style is really primarily relational, but also adaptive. I think different situations need different types of leadership. Sometimes I need to help by articulating a vision. Other times I support the work that we're doing by breaking down barriers. In other cases, I might just need to coach people to rise to their full potential. So I think those are the things that I try to do in support of all the amazing things people are doing.
Well, we're so grateful to have you here at University of Washington, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Sanjay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Sierra and Sanjay. Appreciate that very much. Next, I'd like to call on Debbie Bingham. It's my great pleasure to introduce you to the Chancellor of the University of Washington, Tacoma, Dr. Sheila Edwards Lange. Maybe I should let you do that.
Ken would probably do a better job than me, but I'll do it. So it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the Chancellor of the University of Washington, Tacoma, Dr. Sheila Edwards-Lange. Sheila is a Husky through and through. She's a two-time alumna, having received both a Master of Public Administration from the Evans School of Public Affairs and a PhD in Educational Leadership from the College of Education. From 2006 to 2015, Sheila served as Vice President and Vice Provost for Minority Affairs and Diversity. She led the creation of the UW's first diversity blueprint and spearheaded the inclusion of diversity, equity, and inclusion goals in UW's strategic planning efforts. She served as President of Seattle Central College from 2015 to 2021 before taking on over as Chancellor of the University of Washington's Tacoma campus. In just 2 short years, she has led the creation of a new strategic plan and prioritized new initiatives in student success and community building. Please join me in welcoming to the podium my dear friend, Sheila Edwards-Lange.
Yes, it's true. I'm a double dog, and I love this university. So thank you so much for having us. I'm going to start out with some audience participation to test your knowledge of our UW Tacoma campus. You have a QR code on your table. It's on the screen. This is the one time you can get your phone out during a meeting. And you'll see the questions pop up. Okay, so our first question, and Brian in the back, you got us. What percentage of UW Tacoma students are students of color? So you have some options there. 30, 41, 48, 63. Okay. So the correct answer is 63% of our students are students of color, and 34% of them are from historically underserved communities. That's the most of any UW campus. In fact, UW Tacoma is designated as a minority serving institution and an Asian Pacific Islander serving institution. And it's the first of the UW campuses to receive the ANAPISI recognition. Okay, next. What do you think is the most popular major at UW Tacoma? Choices: psychology, computer science, business, biomedical. So this one, you're probably going to get it right, because our top 3 undergraduate majors are all STEM related, and computer science, biomedical science, and information technology. And psychology ranks 4th and business is 6th. Next question, how many alumni does UW Tacoma have? So we're celebrating our 33rd anniversary. How many? 15,000, 24,000, 32,000, 38. Okay, the right answer is we have more than 30,000 graduates in the world, and 80% stay here in our state after graduation, building their lives in our community. So maybe some of these facts surprise you. Let me share a little bit more about UW Tacoma with you. We are an urban serving university in the heart of downtown Tacoma that works in partnership and collaboration with all of our communities. We're focused on teaching and user-inspired research that benefits our community and the world. We also provide access to a University of Washington education to students who might not otherwise have that opportunity. Many of them are first in their family to go to college. Our campus is an economic engine for downtown Tacoma, and a 2019 study estimated our positive impact to be $313 million annually. 54% of our students are the first in their family to go to college or earn a college degree. We're located less than 15 miles from Joint Base Lewis McChord, so it's no surprise that 16% of our student body are military affiliated. And I'm proud to say that 92% of our students come from Washington State, and 3/4 of them are from the South Puget Sound area. So today we want to focus on the rapid growth of STEM programs at UW Tacoma. Back in January, we opened our newest building, Milgard Hall, which in addition to housing our business school is also home to 9 new labs supporting our engineering programs. And I heard a rumor that Jim Milgard was going to be here today, and I haven't seen him. Is he here? Okay. So if you see Jim Milgard, thank him. He is, and his family have been incredible supporters for UW Tacoma. I also want to thank the Paul G. Allen School and the College of Engineering for their faculty who have partnered with us as we have grown our STEM programs. We recently expanded our offerings in the School of Engineering and Technology to include civil and mechanical engineering, and our first PhD program in computer science. Our biomedical sciences major in the School of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences is one of our fastest growing majors, enrolling over 250 students last fall. This is a major that didn't even exist at UW Tacoma just a few years ago. One of the reasons that students choose UWT is the opportunity to work closely with faculty, both in the classroom on joint research projects and in the community. You'll hear more about that directly from a couple of our students in a moment. Our faculty work on solving real-world challenges that affect our everyday lives. Dr. Ed Collaget's research on chemicals leached from tires that are killing the salmon population just won an international award. Dr. Wei Chao Yuan's work to develop an innovative AI-based chat platform to support family caregivers has been funded by the National Institutes of Health. And another one of our faculty's work with MultiCare on big data to improve outcomes for heart patients. And these are just a few of the examples of the work that our faculty are doing to make a difference in our everyday lives. Some of the research, including Dr. Tara Dacey's work, created Kensai. And Kensai has been an entrepreneurial new company launched through CoMotion, which is here on the Seattle campus, and it's working in the field of data management, healthcare, and safety. But our faculty are doing incredible work, but the one thing that is most important to us above everything else is student success. We're working hard to ensure that our students find their passion and develop the skills they need to be successful. Many of our students complete an internship as part of their undergraduate experience, and these are just some of the companies that provide opportunities for our engineering and technology students, including Nordstrom, Packard, the Department of Defense, the Boeing Company, of course, Amazon, and others. We are so proud and grateful for the opportunities provided to our students. Our students work closely with faculty, even as undergraduates, but I think the best way for you to hear about our student experience is to hear directly from our students themselves. So I'm going to invite 2 of our current UWT students from the School of Engineering and Technology to join me on the stage. Please welcome Kara Nichols, who is a senior pursuing her Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, one of our newest degree programs, and Nicole Guobadia, I probably should have practiced that, who earned her undergraduate and master's degrees at UW Tacoma and is now part of our first cohort of PhD students in computer science. So please welcome Kara and Nicole to the table. Okay, Kara, let's start with you. Why did you choose UW Tacoma?
Hi, so it's a long story, but to make it short, I didn't want to go to Seattle to finish my degree. I really wanted an experience at my school where I could be closer with my peers and my faculty. Not to mention, I live out in Roy because my dad bought a house there when he retired from the Army. So for those of you who don't know, Roy is about an hour south of Tacoma, so going to UWT allowed me to finish my degree without having the financial burden of moving to Seattle. So it being closer, smaller, and in a smaller city really made UWT like the perfect fit for me.
Okay, and Nicole?
Yeah, hi. So I'm actually from Georgia, and I knew that I didn't want to like stay in that area just because I wanted something new, and so I wasn't going to go to California, and I wanted to go to. So I was thinking of Washington State, and then the UW obviously is one of the huge schools here, and I wanted to. One of the reasons why I didn't want to stay at the school that I was at in Georgia is because of the size of the campus. I wanted a more one-on-one sort of feel with the classes, and then also with the professors. And honestly, that's what I've gotten. It's been great. But yeah, so that's kind of why I specifically chose the Tacoma campus. And then when it came to actually just, coming here, I knew that I wanted to go to just UW. I knew that for certain since like my senior year of high school. So, yeah.
Thank you. So, Kira, you're majoring in mechanical engineering, and Nicole, you're majoring in computer science. Tell us about your academic experience at UWT in those majors.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm actually part of the second cohort to go through the mechanical engineering program at UWT, which I'm very excited about. I'm happy to be there because my experience has been amazing. Not only do I have access to an exceptional education, but I have so many opportunities in terms of research and my internships. And I'm also able to connect very closely with my peers and my faculty. But the thing that I value most about my experience in the program is that I see that everybody wants everybody to succeed, which I don't think is something that you can find in every university. I think that's what makes us very unique. So from studying for exams together or applying to internships or applying to jobs, graduate school, you find that there's no shortage of help around. So I think that my experience at UWT has definitely been that nobody gets left behind because everybody is rooting for each other's success.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with all of that. And also the opportunities that are available are very abundant. I think a lot of the companies actually that you mentioned up there, I interned at one of them during my undergrad. I interned at Kensai, which is from UWT. And so like being able to get relevant job experience while also not having to take away from working at a job is very, very nice for I guess more context. One of the issues that I was having for my first quarter during my PhD was that I had a full-time job. I had a full-time job and I was trying to go for a degree full time, and it was very, very stressful. It was hard. I had to, go to the actual facility, and so commuting back and forth, it was a lot. And honestly, it was the internship that I got at Kensai that really alleviated so much stress for me. It was really, really awesome, and honestly, it helped focus what kind of research I wanted to do for my dissertation. So, yeah.
Thank you. So, I know this is one of those dreaded questions. So, what's next for you after graduation? And how has your experience at Tacoma prepared you for that?
I actually love this question. So I've been very fortunate to be I've had a lot of opportunities at UWT. So I'm a part of engineering clubs. Right now, I'm a part of the Society of Women in Engineering Club, where we are very focused on outreach to get more women into, or at least interested in, the fields of engineering, because those numbers are still very low. But I've also had opportunities to do research. I have done, over this past year, research with Dr. Heather Dillon right up here, where we do life cycle assessment. And that research opportunity actually helped to secure me an internship at Tacoma Water this past summer. And while I was there, I had a great time, a great experience in the planning and engineering department. And I did some thinking about what I want to do in the future. And I have decided that after I graduate this coming June, I will have a job by then, guaranteed. And then I would like to work for a few years to gain some experience, to kind of see like what I want to pursue in the future. And then in 2 to 3 years, when UWT launches their master's program, I will return to get my master's in mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I would probably want to do research at a company, probably in healthcare, since that's what a lot of my research currently is in. Also, for some more context, between getting my bachelor's and my master's from UWT, I did go and worked in the industry for about maybe about two to 2.5 years. And it was fine, but I realized that my passion was definitely research, more research oriented. And then also, I guess to talk a bit about how our faculty interacts with us. My research advisor, Professor Juhua, I did an undergrad research with her. And while I was working on that, I stayed even after I graduated on that team, while I had the job that I had. And it felt so much more fulfilling to do research. And then also my professor was like, "You seem to really like research." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And so with the introduction of the PhD program to UWT, I was like, oh, well then I want to go there. I've had such a wonderful experience during my undergrad, and I have a research advisor who already knows me, that I can partner up, who's encouraging me to even go for this. And so since then, it has been like fantastic. She's probably like my number one supporter. And that just kind of speaks to how great the faculty is at UW. So, but I guess to wrap up, I would want to do research, particularly in healthcare with medical images. So.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you to our wonderful students. And thank you for sharing your story and for providing the time to enrich other people about what's happening at UW Tacoma. We at UWT, we want to continue to grow our STEM programs, and those of you here in the audience can help us by doing that by being advocates out in the community, which I know you are on this foundation board, but being advocates for us out in the legislature as we continue to grow our programs, and partner with us through research and student internships, as you just heard from these students. Those are so important. And I also want to welcome you to come down to Tacoma. Tacoma is not your same old Tacoma. It has really changed, and it is very, very vibrant, and we have a lot going on, and I'd love to be able to welcome you down to show you and have you learn more about it. So thank you for the time today.
Thank you, Dr. Lange. Sheila's doing amazing things down at Tacoma. You really should take her up on her offer to host down there. It is a vibrant school led by a vibrant leader. Now I'm pleased to call on our Vice Chair, Lisa Simonyi, who will introduce our next program.
Thank you, Ken. Good morning. So I'm going to see if I can put all this here. So I'm going to be a little bit intimate with you guys. You know, a lot of people, for fun, they might go to a football game, baseball, or music concert. Yeah, that's not what we do. Just before we got married, my husband decided to go into space training. So we were in and out of Star City. And our honeymoon was to go to Mauna Kea and observatory there. We have dragged our kids to Flagstaff and the observatory there to look at planets, because, of course, Disneyland, who goes there? Oh my God. That's lame. So why am I sharing this side? Well, I know something that you guys don't, and I want to let you in on that secret. In about 2 years' time, you know how, let's back up a little bit. You know how like a couple of years ago, AI was something that like, yeah, we've heard of it. It lives in sci-fi movies and it's something out there, right? But now we hear about it every single day almost. You can't avoid it. In 2 years' time, it's going to be the same thing with the astronomy field. And that's why this is really, really important. Sorry, I just seem to have lost my voice here. And how come? Well, it's because observational astronomy is undergoing a tremendous shift. We're going from small individual observations to having a data-rich field with trillions of measurements of billions of objects. It's so big, like you can't wrap your mind around this. And I'm not going to try and explain it all to you. We have people who are going to do that. And of course, UW is there, being part of it and doing amazing things. And we can do this because of two things. One of them is very dear to heart. And if you open this thing that has a very modern thing on the front, I know a lot of you have seen this. You open up, if you have Patrick's lovely face on page 47. You go past that, you'll find this more very spacey looking thing. Read about this. This is going to be very important. That's enabling part of it. The second part is called DiRAC, and that's part of UW here. And to tell you more about that, we have DiRAC's director and professor, Mario Jurić, who's going to present everything for you guys. Mario, please come up.
Thank you, Lisa, for that wonderful introduction. So I'm going to try to give you a sense of the excitement that we have here on campus for what's about to happen in the next couple of years. And buckle up, this is going to be a bit of a whirlwind. I'm going to start with a more fundamental question. What is an astronomer? I'm an astronomer. What do I do? The popular notion is one of an astronomer spending nights observing with large telescopes, somewhere on tallest mountaintops, watching or taking photographs, and then taking those photographs, taking them back in the lab, measuring the few observed objects, and then learning something about the universe. And that truly was the case. This is what astronomy looked like for at least 100 years. But today, we've got advances in cameras and computing that have dramatically changed how we work. So these days, we build large automated telescopes like this one here, built in collaboration, built by University of Washington in collaboration with a number of other universities. We build huge cameras that can take thousands of images each night. We write software that automatically detect and measure billions of objects on those images, and then we use and we write databases and analysis code to analyze not billions, but trillions of observations. So this is a scale that's really hard to visualize. So let me try an experiment here. What you see here, I believe many of you may have seen this already. This is a famous iconic image from the Hubble Space Telescope called the Pillars of Creation. It was taken, the first version back in the 1990s when Hubble launched. But how many of you know how big is this image in the sky? If we overlay it on something we do know how big it is, the moon, this is the size. Hubble took many hours to take this image. And these telescopes, like the Sloan telescope that we built today, they're designed to survey the sky, in about 5 minutes can image the area that's roughly of this size. So this is the increase in the amount of data we're getting. And of course, if you have a telescope that can image that in about 5 minutes, what you do is you just keep going. The Sloan Digital Sky Survey telescope kept going. For about 10 years, it imaged the entire, essentially, northern sky visible from Apache Point, building a data set such as this. This is over 20 terabytes of raw data, over 1.2 billion stars and galaxies observed, some of them multiple times, and all stored into large databases for us to do research on. So what do we increasingly do as astronomers? Most of us these days don't even actually go to telescopes. What we do, we devise algorithms to analyze huge databases, to draw information, to draw inferences about what the universe looks like. We employ machine learning, we employ AI, we employ data science. Our day-to-day work most of the time has more in common with something that someone in Microsoft does or someone in Google does than with our predecessors some 20 years ago. And this has been a tremendous change. This has been a tremendous shift in really what an astronomer is and what skills they need to succeed in this era. And this is why in 2017 we started DiRAC, UW's Institute for Data-Intensive Research in Astrophysics and Cosmology. I know it's a mouthful. It's a bit of a long acronym. Complaint to our founding director. What we do is we bring together talented, driven people with diverse knowledge bases and experiences, anything from computer science, statistics, and astronomy. We help them develop their ideas. We help them build novel algorithms. We help them build software. We help them use them to make new discoveries. And then as they graduate here from University of Washington, they go to positions elsewhere and see the field with researchers and faculty who are then capable of really thriving in this new data-intensive era. So that's what we've been up to. And let me give you a couple of examples of this work. So here is another iconic telescope. This is a 48-inch telescope at Palomar. And about a year into DiRAC's existence, we were invited to join a partnership with Caltech called ZTF. This telescope is capable not just imaging the sky once, but to monitor and repeatedly and identify changes. Now, the trouble with ZTF was that it would identify over 1 million changes in the sky each night, and most of which are deeply, deeply uninteresting. But for a handful of them, maybe one or two, they're extremely interesting. So how do you go about that? How do you find those things? So Maria Patterson, one of our research scientists here, who actually returned to astronomy after a stint in industry, looked at the problem, compared it to something that she worked on before in industry, and built a system that enabled alerting and sifting through the stream of data within minutes of observations being taken and surfacing the most interesting objects and asking others to go and follow them up. So that opened up now nearly half a decade of discoveries with ZTF. So here are just some of the highlights. What you're seeing here is an artist's impression of a star being shredded into pieces by a black hole. We've seen a few of these events now with ZTF using Maria's system. Here are some other examples, discovering some of the rarest objects in the universe. Here's an example that Andy Tsanidakis, one of Jim's students, did here at the University of Washington, where they explained what happened to a star that just seemed to have disappeared. Well, it turned out it didn't disappear. It had a companion with lots and lots of dust around it, dust that probably is creating planets. And then another piece of work that Eric Bellum, one of our faculty here, worked on, was the discovery of an extremely rare, what we call black widow binary. This is another smaller star that's being orbited by a neutron star that's essentially eating it up. The universe can be violent, so I apologize. Let's come closer to home. Let's talk about asteroids. So these are what asteroids look like when you get close to them. The way I like to describe them is think mountains in space. Space Needle here would be 1 pixel in size. Now you would think that these asteroids should be easy to distinguish from stars, but from afar, they all look exactly the same. So in this image, I usually ask my students, point me to the asteroid. Unless you're lucky, you won't know which one it is because they look exactly the same as stars. The way we distinguish them from stars is by looking at what moves. So here's an example of an object moving. See the little dot in the circle? That's how we know it's nearby. But because of various artifacts and false positives you can get in these observations during the night, just 2 observations is not enough. You actually need 4 to discover an object like this. So now let's take a look at what we have today with these modern telescopes. This image is actually pretty what we call shallow. It doesn't go very deep in the universe. So this is what our universe looked like when we look at them with the best telescope out today. Each one of these points, each dot, is a star, a galaxy, or an artifact. There are about 5 million of them. And among those 5 million, there's about 1,000 asteroids hiding. And with these new telescopes, we don't get to make 4 exposures, 4 images, but we get only 2. So how do we find objects here? So we got 2 options. One is take the Simpson route. The other is take the Husky route and understand the physics, understand the mathematics, and build a code that can actually do this. And that's what we did. Ari Hines, one of our research scientists, developed a new code that will work on a Rubin Observatory, which I'll mention in just a second, that is able to find objects in these kinds of images. And not just that, just this summer we found our first what's called a potentially hazardous asteroid. It's an asteroid that comes closer to the Earth's orbit than the moon does. Don't worry, it's not going to hit us. We've calculated where it's going to go. Now, let's go back to this image, and we can now do this with just 2 observations. But we're Huskies, so we tend to want to swing for the fences, and we asked ourselves, can we do this with just 1? And this is a perfect student project. And one of our students took a look at that, and the answer is yes. He's managed to solve this problem that has been bedeviling astronomy for the past 40 years in terms of finding the algorithm. And now we have a code that can find not just a single object, or so not just an object with 2 exposures, not with 4, not with 2, but only 1. We effectively made telescopes up to 4 times as effective. And I'm always proud of my students, so that make me biased. But just to give you a sense that I'm not entirely biased here, Joachim got an award from the International Astronomical Union for the best thesis of 2022. Those of you who join us at the Discover UW event will meet him up in the astronomy department. So these were just 2 examples of a lot of work that happened in DiRAC over the past 6 years. In total, we've had something like 400 papers with over 13,000 citations and counting. This has really been truly 6 years of discovery, and it hasn't been done by me. It's been done by our postdocs and by students. It's this ability to bring them together, to let them come up with their best ideas and to let them execute them that's made all this possible. And so I just want to acknowledge a couple of institutions and people that really truly made this possible. Let me start with the University of Washington, our College of Arts and Sciences, Dean Harris, Dean Pollack, who have supported this kind of research for almost 3 decades now, which has been truly fantastic. Our founding director, Andy Connolly, who, besides being guilty for the acronym, it also had the vision to understand that we need this sort of work that gathers together everything from computing to astrophysics to thrive in this data-intensive era. And then especially to Charles and Lisa here, who have recognized this vision and decided to support it and made it possible for all these people to actually be here at UW and get this work done. So thank you so much for this. So now I say we have a team for the future. What is the future? The future is the Rubin Observatory. Rubin Observatory is the next generation observatory whose mission is, I would summarize it as downloading the sky. It's being built in Chile right now. It will image the entire visible sky once every 3 days for about 10 years, and it will start operating in 2025. It has incredibly deep roots here in Seattle, in Washington State. It was co-founded by us at the University of Washington, and the first really kickstarted funding came from Charles and from Bill Gates. That made it possible for us to develop the concept to a point where now it's the flagship NSF science project, the biggest project NSF has ever funded. The ties continue. Current director of Rubin project is Professor Željko Ivezić, also from astronomy here at UW. And the observatory, I was there about 6 months ago in Chile, looks like this. It's a wonderful building. If you ever get a chance to go, please do. It's fantastic. It houses the fastest optical telescope in the world. This telescope is 250 tons of glass and steel. It can turn around 180 degrees in less than 20 seconds. It's incredible to see it operate. It has what's the largest astronomical camera ever made. It's the size of a jet engine. It gets mounted on top of this telescope. And when you combine that in this system, what are we going to get is a data set that's 10 to 100 times larger than anything we've had before. And this starts in about 2 years. What does this mean, 10 to 100 times larger? Let me just give you a visualization. I've shown you this image. These are stars and galaxies, whole hemisphere of the sky from SDSS. This took 10 years to collect this level of this data set. With Rubin, this is one night. And we're going to be getting 10 years of nights. So what is this observatory going to trigger? Starting in 2025, it will enable the astronomical community really to rewrite textbooks across all areas of astrophysics. We'll be able to answer what is dark energy, what is dark matter. We'll be able to go and look for the rarest phenomena in the universe. If you've got something that happens once in a billion, we'll probably see, 40 or 50 of those. It's incredible. We'll be able to answer questions like how galaxies form. And closer to home, we'll map the solar system to unprecedented detail and answer questions such as where did we come from, how does the solar system form, and also, are there potentially hazardous asteroids coming towards us and potentially impacting the Earth? So we could spend a week talking about all of these, so we're going to focus on just one. And I'm going to invite Sarah Greenstreet, our newest professor at the Department of Astronomy and a rising star in this field, to tell us more about what Rubin will do with mapping the solar system. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Hello, everyone. As Mario said, I now have the pleasure of getting to tell you about one of the many areas of astronomy in which we are poised to make revolutionizing discoveries with the Rubin Observatory, and that is in the solar system. Our view of the solar system is about to drastically change. Today, we know of about 1 million objects in our solar system, which have taken us the past 200 years of pointing our telescopes at the night sky to discover. With the Rubin Observatory, we will discover another 1 million objects in the first 3 to 6 months of observing the night sky. And we will find a total of 5 million new solar system objects by the end of the 10-year-long sky survey. That's an incredible amount of discovery in a relatively short amount of time. When we talk about the Rubin Observatory, we often say that it's going to produce an unprecedented data set. And in this case, it's going to allow us to map the solar system to a level we've never been able to reach before. And when we talk about objects in the solar system, we often break them down into groups based on where they live. In the inner solar system, we have the near-Earth objects. In the outer solar system are the dwarf planets. And then there are objects that come from beyond the boundaries of our solar system. So, for example, in the inner solar system, we currently have discovered about 22,000 near-Earth objects. With the Rubin Observatory, we're going to increase this by about 10 times and discover roughly 200,000 near-Earth objects. The most practical application of all these discoveries is to search these discoveries to try to identify anything that might be headed our way. Because every now and then, these asteroids can and do impact the Earth, such as this meteor that exploded in the atmosphere over Russia in 2013. This event damaged roughly 7,200 buildings and injured roughly 1,500 people, causing them to seek medical attention. Now, you may not know that we've only discovered 7 impactors before they've collided with the Earth. And those were all discovered in the past decade, with only hours at the most to spare before they collided with the Earth. Fortunately, Rubin is going to help us find more of these objects. The big ones are the ones, of course, that we really worry about, the things that are large enough to destroy an entire city or wipe out civilization. Fortunately, we will be really good at finding these so-called city killer asteroids with the Rubin Observatory. We expect to find roughly 80% of all of the objects of this size with Rubin Observatory. Hopefully then, if we do discover anything that's coming our way, which is unlikely, hopefully this will give us time to be able to do something to be able to avoid such an impact. And we've now had some practice doing this, thanks to NASA's recent DART mission. Okay, so going back to our larger picture of the solar system, the outer solar system is full of dwarf planets like Pluto and its large moon Charon, which are shown imaged here by NASA's New Horizons. Now, I don't know about you, but Pluto is my favorite planet, and we could talk all day about whether or not it should still be called a planet. But I wanted to mention that those of you who are board members who will be joining us for the Discover UW event later today, if you come find me, I will show you some spectacular images of Pluto in 3D and give you a pair of 3D glasses to take with you. So far, we've discovered about a dozen of these dwarf planets in the outer solar system, like Pluto. And with the Rubin Observatory, we expect to find up to 100 more of these Pluto-like objects. So pretty soon, we may know of about 100 Plutos floating around the outer solar system. And maybe that's enough reason not to call Pluto a planet anymore. Maybe. In addition, you may have heard that there could be another large planet that's still lurking yet undiscovered in the far outer solar system. The evidence for this is still a bit unclear, but if it does exist, and if it lives in the area that we can see with the Rubin Observatory, we will likely find it. Finally, I want to touch on objects that come from beyond the boundaries of our solar system. Like our sun, there are hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy, and we now know that each of those stars likely has at least one, if not many, planets, as well as asteroid belts of their own. Sometimes those asteroids can get thrown out of their planetary systems by their giant planets, and if the trajectories of those asteroids happen to serendipitously intersect with the solar system, we get an opportunity like no other. As the name of the first discovered interstellar object means, these are truly messengers from other worlds. They give us a magnificent chance to study other planetary systems in a way we would only otherwise be able to do by visiting them. So far, we've discovered 2 interstellar objects, and with the Rubin Observatory, we expect to find anywhere from 1 per year to 1 every month. And each of those discoveries is going to give us a chance to better understand how our solar system fits into the bigger picture. Now, all of this is just the tip of the iceberg of the many ways in which we are poised to revolutionize astronomy with the Rubin Observatory. But in order to make all of these incredible discoveries and more, we need people. And more specifically, we need students. So here to tell you more about how we are preparing our students and growing our research and education programs within the DiRAC Institute is Professor James Davenport.
Good morning. I'm going to go back because this blows my mind, and I do this for a living. Tens to hundreds of comets from other stars. Amazing. Okay, well, it's my pleasure to talk for just a few minutes about how we are training the next generation of astronomers and scientists here at UW. And it's a great privilege to talk to you as myself, also a double Husky, an alum of two different degree programs here at UW. So it's a great pleasure to be here and to be able to do this work here. I'm a member of both the astronomy and astrobiology faculty, and my group here within DiRAC works to answer questions like, are we alone in the universe? Where are the most mysterious stars? Can we map them with facilities like the Rubin Observatory? And you've already heard that over the last 6 years, we've had this incredible team of postdoctoral researchers, of staff, and of students who've been supported, and we've been able to send them off into the world. So one of the great joys of being able to do this work at a public university is that we get to train these students. You've already heard that astronomy has changed, that we are not just teaching our students about stars and galaxies and asteroids and comets, but that we have to teach them skills like data science and statistics and computer science. We have to be a truly interdisciplinary department and program. And this means that we have to change the way that we're teaching astronomy. We have to develop new courses, rewrite the textbooks, as Mario said. We also need to change the way we are training our students. One of the benefits we've seen is that students across STEM disciplines are starting to come to the astronomy department and wanting to take our classes. As we're integrating data science and statistics into all of our curricula, we're able to actually teach students. Astronomy is a great vehicle because, I mean, I think I think it's the best, it's the coolest science. It's at least the most romantic science. And so it's something that everybody across STEM wants to come take. And so we're able to actually have an impact even within our university of teaching students across STEM. So one of the things that I think a lot about, and I think a lot of us here think a lot about, is how do we ensure that we have not just the facilities and the tools to make discoveries. This is what we do in DiRAC. We build the algorithms, we help write the code that drives the observatory, that drives discovery. How do we ensure that we have scientists at all levels of the career stages, all levels of their academic journey, ready to make these discoveries, to write the grants, to write the papers, to ask the big questions? One of the things that I'm most proud of here at the university is that we teach what I call farm-to-table astronomy. We still have facilities like Apache Point Observatory here in New Mexico, of which we're a 25% owner. We still have these facilities where we can send students to go and touch the telescope, to actually interact physically with the machine that makes the discovery, where we harvest the light, where we collect the data. You can actually even put an eyepiece on it, and you can even look in it. And it is a profound experience to look through 3 meters of glass with your eye at a planet or a nebula. Even as a professional, it is an absolutely shaking experience at times. We have a university where we can make these educational opportunities at the same time as we're making these profound discoveries. And so we can take our students down to the observatory. They can learn to observe in sort of the old style, one object, one field of view at a time. And then we can take that data that they collect all the way through the life cycle of discovery with the algorithms and the techniques that we build here at DiRAC. And one of the programs that we've launched in the last couple of years is a new student research prize, a summer initiative to keep students here at the UW to make discoveries. Now again, as a 2-time alum of this program, I know exactly how profound it is to have a little bit of support early in your career to do your research, to be supported and to feel like you're engaged and getting to stay and work one-on-one with the faculty. And so we've had a really great cohort now of 2 students for the last couple of years, supported by the community through this wonderful Husky Giving Day program that I know a lot of you have engaged with. We have, you may not know, one of the largest astronomy majors in the country, and Seattle is the perfect place to make these kinds of discoveries. So we're in the sort of top 3 or top 4 universities in the country for astronomy majors. And that means we have, like every other discipline, we have this incredible cohort of students who are ready and eager to make discoveries and really, really hungry for doing these research projects. And so I'm very excited that we've been able to do this and to keep this program going, hopefully in the near future. We're also trying to bring the world to UW. Within DiRAC, we have scientists and engineers and computer scientists and developers, and this means that we're the perfect place for other astronomers to come and visit. And so we love to host workshops and hack days and other kinds of fun events where people come and bring their ideas, and we partner them with developers, the people who are building the tools. This sparks really wonderful new collaborations, right? We all know in Seattle there's nothing better than sitting down with coffee and a whiteboard and just hashing out ideas until like discoveries start popping out. And this is something that we love to do here at DiRAC and at UW. And so if you come up to our deep dive event later, you'll come up into this wonderful space where we host a lot of these events. And that's just a flavor of some of the things that we're doing to bring Washington to the world. We're trying to build the next great observatories. We are building the next tools that will enable amazing discoveries across astronomy. We're building algorithms, we're building data sets and databases that are going to change what we understand about the universe. We're going to be able to answer really deep questions like, are we alone? Are there other comets from other stars that are visiting us? What is our place in the cosmos? We're going to answer those questions with these tools. And what is so important is that we're going to train a generation of astronomers who are capable of asking these questions. And I think that is what makes UW and DiRAC a really wonderful place to be. And so I'll hand it back to Mario here really briefly just to wrap us up.
Thank you, Jim. I hope this has given you a sense for what to expect soon. I feel like this has been an extended trailer, like the trailer we've had for the Boys in a Boat movie. It says Christmas 2023, and I should have ended this with Christmas 2025. That's when all these data start flowing, and a lot of this research is going to be happening here. University of Washington is going to be, in some ways, the center of the universe, and our students and our postdocs are going to be the ones creating these discoveries. So thank you all so much for supporting this kind of research, because otherwise it wouldn't have been possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario, Sarah, and James. And Charles and Lisa, goodness gracious, thank you for supporting this really important initiative. This is powerful. And, something that James said is so true, and some of you know I play in the venture capital space, and what I find is that strong interdisciplinary teams are the ones that are delivering innovation and novel insights, and it's something that we have to support as a university. Striving to be, one of the best universities at promoting interdisciplinary work. I just think it's, that's a hill we can own, and but just great stuff. So thank you to all of the presenters today and to all of you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you back here on Friday, January 26th. Foundation Board Directors and Emeritus Directors, I look forward to seeing you at 11:30 for part 2 as we continue to learn more about DiRAC and participate in the immersive Discover UW, which we formerly call Deep Dives, at the Physics and Astronomy building on campus. So please keep your name badges on if you are attending. There will be box lunches. Mario and his team are at the back of the room, or they will be soon, and they will wave and help guide us over there to the physics building. And Brooks Simpson, where are you, Brooks? Stand up. Yeah, Brooks is gonna dive in here.
Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to lead the rally for all of you that have signed up, just to demonstrate that there is such a thing as a free lunch. Ken and I got up early. We made these sandwiches, so don't whine if you don't like the mayonnaise. But just a couple of observations. First of all, it looks like, Sanjay, where are you? You have a great opportunity as a talk show host. And then again, I'm off leash now, so I'll probably catch hell for this. But I did want to mention I had the opportunity to go down to the University of Tacoma in the spring with UWAA. I'd never been there. I used to go there when my grandparents were alive. It was not a nice part of town. It is absolutely incredible. Chancellor Lange came and talked to us. It's wonderful. I would encourage you to go down there. It's a neat facility, both new and renovated, and with that, I'll drop off. But those of you that did sign up for the lunch, make sure you do show up, because I don't want to be stuck with those sandwiches we made. So we'll see you here in a bit. Thank you.
Thanks, great. And we are adjourned. Thank you.